If your channel isn't growing the way that you expected, whether you're brand new or you've been doing this for a while and you're losing steam, I need you to stay with me because what I'm about to show you changes how you see this entire thing. Like you're closer than you think. I'm going to show you three things: how YouTube actually works under the hood, the framework that I call the YouTube growth engine, which is the thing that truly changed everything for me, and the one thing that separates channels that keep climbing from those that will never grow. I've built businesses to multiple six figures a month outside of YouTube through products and services. But YouTube is actually new for me too. I mean, I've never had another channel that I grew to over 100,000 subscribers. I'm on the same climb that you are, maybe just with a little bit of different set of tools. And what I'm seeing most creators struggle with is something that nobody is actually talking about out loud. There's a group of people telling you that unless you have absolute proof or years of experience, you have no business helping anyone on this platform. And I want to address that real quick, because that thinking is exactly what's keeping most creators stuck. And it has nothing to do with their titles or hooks or even the algorithm. It has to do with status. So status blinds you. Status tells you to wait until you're worthy to help someone. Wait until you have the receipts. Wait until you've proven yourself to the gatekeepers of whatever space you're trying to grow in. But the market doesn't care about your worthiness. It cares about your utility. If you can solve a problem for someone today, it could be entertainment, it could be educational, it could be a business problem. Actually solve it, like move the needle for them. You are already more valuable than a veteran who's too busy polishing his trophies to see that the game has always been the same. They just forgot where they came from. And I don't say that to start drama. I say it because I've watched creators with real things to share stay silent for years because someone with a bigger audience made them feel like they hadn't earned the right to speak yet. Now, there's a flip side of that, because the antidote to gatekeeping isn't just posting anything and calling it content. It's the reason that someone comes back to your version of that topic instead of 100 other people covering the same thing. And it's built from four things: what you love, what you're good at, what people actually need, and what they'll actually pay attention to. When those four overlap, that's your channel identity. And when I applied it to my businesses many years ago and YouTube channel now, I noticed things just started clicking. So, I quit trying to be everything to everyone. And I just started being specific about the point of view that I bring. So that's when the right people started showing up. So your channel needs an identity, not just topics. And that identity doesn't have to be controversial, because the channels that people return to aren't the ones that covered the most ground. They're the ones that made the viewer feel like someone finally gets it. So forget the status game. Like, status requires a 15-year resume and it creates fear. Like, a system requires a repeatable process and it creates freedom. And that system starts with understanding what YouTube actually is. So let's say you figured out how to inject your point of view consistently into your videos. So most creators are still playing the wrong game entirely. And until we understand what YouTube is actually doing behind the scenes, none of this will move the needle the way that we want it to. So let's say you upload a video and it gets a couple of hundred views in the first day, and then it just stops. So you probably do what every other creator does. You go to YouTube, you go to Reddit, you go to the forums, you go to every comment on YouTube growth videos, and you try to figure out what people are saying. And many of them say, well, you're shadow banned. And the truth of what's actually happening is both more specific and more useful than that. Because if it were a shadow ban, like, there's nothing you could do. But what's actually happening means that you have levers, like real levers that you can pull starting on your next video. So YouTube is not a mysterious algorithm with a personality that hates your channel. Like, it's a statistical model designed to do several things: minimize risk, keep viewers on the platform, and then maximize viewer satisfaction. Every single upload that you make goes through what YouTube calls a sample phase. So they show your video to a small test group. So we're talking a few hundred people, and they measure how long that group responds. So how long did they watch, whether they come back to YouTube after watching, or whether they click away immediately. So that test group isn't random. Like, it's built from your channel's historical data. So who's watched your videos before? How long did they watch? What else did they watch? YouTube finds people who look like your existing audience and then uses them as a test case for your new videos. So if your channel has trained an audience of low engagement viewers, so people who clicked, they watched for 30 seconds and left, that's the audience that YouTube is testing your new video with. So even if your new video is your best work ever, it doesn't matter. Like, it's being shown to an audience that was trained by your old content, even if some of them didn't watch for long. So that's the dead subscriber layer. So your subscriber count, which you worked hard to build, can actually be working against you. So a channel with 200 active subscribers who just joined can outperform a channel with 10,000 subscribers who stopped caring 6 months ago, because the signal coming back from those 200 people is clean. The signal from those 10,000 people who are disengaged subscribers is just noise for the algorithm. So the platform isn't punishing you, it's reading you. So it's reflecting your data back to you accurately. And what it needs from you isn't perfection. So it's a pattern. So repeatable, consistent, positive signals from multiple lookalike audience clusters over time. So that's what unlocks distribution. Not one viral video, although that can help facilitate that. So a consistent pattern of the right people responding the right way. So in plain words, we need to train the audience and we need to train the algorithm. And that's exactly what the YouTube growth engine is designed to do. So after we figured out what YouTube needs, the question is, what do you make? And then what order do you make it to send those signals consistently? Because this is what most creators struggle with. I mean, including myself. So they're making videos, they're not building an engine. So hold up, let me explain. So most creators are chasing that outlier video. So that one video that blows up, like the one video that changes everything overnight. That's not how channels are actually built, because the way channels really grow is through a ladder. So each one of those isn't just a number. Like, it's YouTube confirming that another group of people responded well enough to your content that it's worth showing to more. So every milestone that the algorithm tested your content on a new group, and then they said yes. So, and the higher you climb, the wider the net has to be. At 100 views, you can be hyper specific. So you can have one tight topic, one specific person, like a very narrow audience. So that works well at that level. But to get to 10,000 views, like, YouTube needs to find more clusters who respond to you. So that means your content needs to travel a little further outside your core. Not lose its identity, but like just be findable by the people who are 1 degree removed from your main audience. So the ladder tells you where you are, but then the engine tells you what to make next to get to that level. And the engine has 2 layers. The first layer is the bucket. So every video you make belongs to one of these 3 buckets. So discovery videos have the widest reach. So these are the videos that pull strangers into your world. So they have a higher TAM, or total addressable market, meaning more people could realistically click on them. Those are the videos that become your outliers, because when YouTube tests them with a new cluster and that cluster responds well, like, it's going to keep pushing it. So when those people watch your discovery video and then watch more of your channel, YouTube sees this session time increasing and then it doubles down on that video. So trust videos are for the people who found you through discovery videos. So they're more specific. So they build relationships with your viewer. They make the viewer feel like this creator actually knows what they're talking about. So that means you get to show your competence. So these don't get the same raw view numbers as your discovery videos, because they do something more valuable. They turn your viewers into loyal ones. And then we have depth videos, which are for your most loyal audience. So these are the tutorials that are very detailed, or even your detailed breakdowns. So you have your heaviest value content on this one here, and then you have lower views on this, but you have your highest watch time. So these are the videos that make people say, well, I've never seen this explained so well. And here's the second layer of the engine. So within each bucket, you're building topic clusters. So these are groups of related videos that train both the algorithm and the audience together. Then YouTube shows them the next. So then the audience is going to follow, and then that signal is going to stay consistent. And then YouTube stops guessing who your videos are for. So look at your last 10 videos. Just think about them for a second. So some of them were trying to find some new people, and then some of them were trying to reward the people who already found you. But I bet most of us have never thought about it in terms of when you made them. So you just made the videos. So that's the difference between a channel and a destination. So a channel is a collection of videos. And the moment you begin making content with intention, like bucket level, topic cluster level, the algorithm finally knows who your channel's for. But the engine only runs consistently if we do one thing that almost nobody's talking about in this space. And it's actually the reason that some channels keep climbing for years, and then others are going to hit a plateau that they can never get off of, no matter how good the content gets. So, our job at every stage of this, like every single milestone of that ladder that we talked about, is to make sure that the same people want to watch our next video. Not find a new audience with every upload, not reinvent ourselves every few weeks. So make the same people come back. When they do, YouTube sees something very specific. So the algorithm is like, I see the same people are clicking, the same people are watching all the way through, and the same people are coming back to the channel after watching. So that's a clean, consistent signal. That's what tells the algorithm this channel reliably satisfies this type of viewer. Keep testing it with more of them. So when we pivot too hard too early, we break that signal. So if we have a new video with a new topic angle, then only a portion of that audience will respond. And then YouTube sees a new channel every single time. So that's where erratic views come from. It's not the algorithm being random, it's resetting the signal every few uploads. Now, I want to be clear about something because I know some of you are thinking, does this mean I'm stuck making the same type of video forever?
No, 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 no.
It means that you're sequencing. You're not restricting though. There's a real difference between those two things. So restricted means that you can only ever make videos on one topic. Sequence means that you can start narrow and then earn the audience and then expand with them. The key word here is with them because you're not going to abandon your audience to go make something new. You're bringing them along with you. So you're slowly introducing adjacent topics. You have new angles that you want to introduce, new formats, but in a way that feels like a natural evolution of who you already are to them. So then the audience is going to follow you because they trust where you're taking them. And as your video library grows, as you intentionally build multiple buckets and fill them with topic clusters, something starts to happen. Like you can start moving between those buckets without the audience falling off because by this point, YouTube has enough data now. It knows who to send your discovery bucket. It knows who to send your depth content to. It knows who your channel's for, and it knows that the audience knows you. So the library that you're building right now, even if it's 5 videos, even if it feels like nothing, is the foundation for the creative freedom that you'll have later. So every video that you make with intention is part of that engine. And at some point, you'll have enough parts that that engine is going to run on its own. So once both the algorithm and your audience are trained on who you are, you stop fighting every view. And that library compounds in a way that random videos never will. But even when your engine is running, like even when you're doing everything right, like your views are going to fluctuate. So seasonally, algorithmically, for reasons that have nothing to do with your content quality. And when this happens, like most creators panic. So they think that their engine is broken. So they start making random changes that actually reset everything that they've built. So I made a video on exactly why this happens and what to do so you don't undo your progress. Watch that one next.